What's going on, Patriots? It's me, Brandon, and I hope you enjoyed that very relaxing music that was playing during that countdown. And sorry, give me just a second here. Facebook is taking its sweet time to let me know. Okay, it appears that I am now live. Yes, fantastic. Hi. I want to say hi to everybody. This is my first time going live since I am now officially a free man. I am a pardoned individual in the United States of America, which is tremendous. Forgive me for not making eye contact. Give me just a moment. I'm cross sharing this live to the Walkaway campaign group on Facebook. If you are not currently a member of the new Walkaway campaign group, make sure you go to Facebook, look up hashtag Walkaway campaign, and join our new group. When I say new group, I mean the group that we formed to replace the Walkaway campaign group that was taken down by Facebook several years ago. Give me just a few seconds here to cross post to all of our groups, and then we will rock and roll. So, oh, damn, it's a lot of groups. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy time. So I just got back to Nebraska last night, and I've been gone. I was in Washington, D.C., and then I went to New York City afterwards. It's been nuts, like doing nonstop media. The literally at exactly the time on Monday night, the night of the inauguration, that it was announced that that the J6ers were pardoned. I was already committed to do the Greg Kelly show that night. So I went on Greg Kelly, and then I ended up doing, I don't know, 3 or 4 interviews that night. I did like 15 interviews the next day, and it's just been like on and on and on and on ever since. And I'm extremely grateful because a lot of great opportunities have come around. I went back on Fox News for the first time in years. I went on Laura Ingram's show. Felt really good to be able to go back on the network. I did the Piers Morgan show, which I've never done before. Bill O'Reilly, which I've never done before. So some really cool opportunities have come, and a lot of other podcasts and radio shows and things like that that were all new experiences. And got home last night. So I've only been back in my apartment, not even 24 hours since all of this went down. And people keep asking me, how does it feel to be pardoned? And I keep saying, I don't know, because I've been doing interviews nonstop. So I haven't even had an opportunity to process, I guess, at this point, what it actually means. But oh, thank you guys. I'm seeing some of your comments here in the chat. Oh, by the way, whether you're watching on Facebook or X, or I guess if YouTube, make sure you please share. If you're on X, do me a favor, please hit repost right now and share this. If you're on Facebook, hit the share button. Throw some likes and comments in the chat. I would love to read what is on you guys' mind, what you're thinking, how you're feeling. But yeah, it's been crazy, and I think the best part, people keep asking me, well, do you feel great? Do you feel relieved? Yes, I feel all of those things. But the best part for me is that essentially it has nullified that bogus, ridiculous bullshit plea deal that I entered into, and all of the lies that were told by the government for the last 4 years that have resulted in so much damage and devastation in my life. And I know that I've been strongly hinting as much as I possibly could for the last 4 years as to some of the falsehoods in my plea deal, but I've never been able to come right out and say it, which has been unbelievably, I don't even know the words, destructive, damaging psychologically, spiritually, emotionally. To have to plead guilty to something that you didn't do, and to have to confess or say that you did things that you didn't do, it's one of the hardest things I think a person could ever be asked to do. But especially in these January 6th cases where they're getting so much media attention, and that the majority of the mainstream media is anti-Trump and anti-Trump supporter. So they have a vested interest in trying to amplify and repeat and recycle these stories over and over again to maximize harm and damage. It's like it just never went away. And so in my case, now I can find, this is the first time I'm ever doing a live video, just being 100% completely truthful and transparent with you guys. So in the plea deal that I took Well, let's back it up a little bit. My case began, as you guys know, with an FBI raid on my apartment on Monday, January 25th, 2021. When I was raided, I was told by the FBI that I was facing multiple felony charges for what I did on January 6th. I wasn't sure what those felony charges were. I wasn't sure what the accusations against me were. And I didn't find out until days later because I was immediately taken to jail. And while I sat in that jail cell, all that I knew was that the government was charging me with multiple felonies in conjunction with January 6th. Now, this was 5 days after Joe Biden had become president of the United States, 5 days after the Democrats had taken full control of the House, the Senate, every branch of the federal government. And all that the media had been talking about for weeks was a deadly insurrection. That's back when we were still calling it the deadly insurrection. They were talking about treason, terrorism, acts of sedition, domestic terrorism. And so I sat in that jail cell literally believing that I was being charged with like sedition or treason or some sort of domestic terrorism charge. And I mean, I really thought, okay, I'm never going to see the outside of a prison cell ever again. But nonetheless, when I was finally released and I was able to speak to an attorney, which was, days later, that's when I learned. So this is how my case operated. One FBI agent, whose name is Jeremy Desor, Desor. That's the first time I've ever said his name out loud as well. One FBI agent watched my video. And so I shot the video for 8 minutes outside of the Capitol, right? And in that video, there are two key moments that happen that caused all of this trouble for me. One of those moments is that at about, 3 or 4 minutes into the video, I'm standing outside of the east side. The doors are open to the east side of the Capitol, and there's two girls actually, that are trying to push their way out of the crowd. Everybody's looking at the Capitol at the top of the stairs. But these girls were trying to push their way out. And as they're pushing, they're causing people to lose their footing. So at one moment, I kind of created an opening for one of the girls. And I said, go, go. And it was really annoying because literally people were on the brink of falling over. So I was very irritated. And I said, go, go. And the girl responded to me and she said, relax, relax. I'm going. And you actually hear her say this on my video. Well, this FBI agent took that moment where I said, go, go, and said that I was shouting for the crowd to storm the building, shouting, go, go. Now, you can watch this for yourself. You see this girl literally respond to me. And by the way, my voice is no louder than what I just did right at that moment. I literally go, go, go. I mean, there's hundreds of people at the top of the stairs. If anybody beyond 4 feet away heard me say those words, there's no way. So but they presented this like I was going, go, go, like trying to get people to storm the building. No such thing ever happened. The other thing is that 5 or 6 minutes into my video, and I'm shooting my video with my camera above my head like this. And about 30 feet away from me is this one officer who's walking through the crowd it's the only officer that you can clearly see on my video. The other thing that he lied about, or that the government lied about, they said that when I got to the top of the stairs, I witnessed police officers doing their best to restrain the crowd, giving this illusion that there was a squadron or a team of officers up there fighting with the crowd. No such thing happened. When I got up to the top of the stairs, you can't see any police officers, zero visible police officers on the top of the stairs. Now, once I start holding my camera up above my head and zoom in, and then not only is my camera zoomed in, but then you actually have to zoom in on the footage that you're looking at, you can see a few officers near and they're just standing there. They're not trying to restrain the crowd. They're not fighting with anyone. They're literally just standing there as people are walking into the building. They're doing nothing. So that was a lie too, but the lie was intentionally designed to make it seem like I witnessed officers fighting with the crowd, but still chose to be there anyway. But there's one officer who is walking through the crowd, and as he's walking and he gets near the door, somebody grabs his shield out of his hand, and you hear several voices from the crowd shouting, take it, and take the shield. Now, as I was there in that moment, I did not see this happen. I didn't hear it happen. I did not witness it happening. There was so much going on and so many voices that could be heard and flags waving in your face and stuff going on. It was not a moment that was registering in my consciousness anywhere around me. Not to mention the fact it was not happening close to me. Again, my camera was zoomed all the way in. But this FBI agent, so there's two voices. One voice is shouting, and it sounds like they're coming about 5 feet away from me. And you hear it on my video. One of them is shouting, take the shield, take the shield, take the shield away from him. The other voice coming from his buddy, I guess, is shouting, take it, take it. Well, this FBI agent said that I was the voice shouting, take the shield, take the shield, take the shield away from him. Not only did that not happen, not only is that not me, not only I didn't witness it, I didn't see it happen. I had no awareness that it happened. But here's the thing, and I can say this now for the first time clearly. Was not me. I did not do that. But here's the thing, you guys. You would have to believe that I went to the Capitol, started filming, witnessed somebody taking a shield from an officer. Then I started shouting, encouraging the person to take the shield. Number one, why would I do that? Like, why would I care if someone else took a shield from an officer? Like, what would that do for me? Like, in all the years that people have known me, known my work, known my activism, known my advocacy, like, why would I care if someone else took a shield from an officer? It's not even something that, and I don't get why they cared. Like, I literally don't get why those guys were there shouting, take the shield. Although I am strongly suspicious that those two guys were confidential human sources. And there's a number of reasons why I believe that. I absolutely believe that those guys were there to agitate and instigate the crowd. But again, it's not something I would be interested in. I don't care about it. It does nothing for me. But the second thing, and more importantly, is you would have to believe that I chose to film myself shouting for someone else to take a shield from an officer. And then this wasn't a live stream. I uploaded the video to Twitter later, like an hour later. So you would have to believe that I filmed myself doing that. And then I intentionally uploaded a video of me encouraging people to take a shield from an officer for my hundreds of thousands of followers on social media, many of whom are financial donors, supporters. I mean, my entire audience is pro-law enforcement, pro-law and order. Even if you think that I'm a person who's dumb enough to care if somebody takes a shield from an officer, I'm very offended by the notion that I would be dumb enough to film myself doing that and then upload it for my social media followers to see, many of whom are financial donors to walk away, who obviously would stop supporting me and stop supporting my organization if they saw me do that. And I would understand, I would know that they would do that. So the whole thing was so dumb, but this is what they arrested me for, and this is what they put me in jail for. So then when I got out of jail and I learned that that's what I was being accused of, I told my attorney, I was like, I didn't do that. I didn't even see it happen. And by the way, I never saw it happen until I watched my own video after I got arrested. I had never watched my own video. I uploaded it to Twitter. A couple of hours later, I took it down as the day started to get crazier and get more momentum. So I just took the video down. I never watched it. I had never seen it. So it wasn't until I was out of jail that I saw my own video for the first time and saw that moment happen. And I'm like, it's so obvious that's not my voice. It doesn't even say, it sounds like it's coming from 5 feet away. And shortly after the shield incident happens, the whole crowd starts chanting USA. And I join in with the crowd going, USA, USA. And you hear my voice when I'm chanting USA. And it sounds very close to the camera, very different than the other voice. And the other thing, too, is if you watch my video, the voices that are chanting about the shield, like put on headphones. And those voices are coming out of the right headphone. My voice almost consistently comes out of the left headphone. Like it's so obvious that it's not my voice. And so I told my attorney all of this, and he went back to the prosecutor. So I got arrested because of this FBI agent who created this story. That FBI agent went to a magistrate, asked for an emergency order to have me arrested, which he was granted. And I was never indicted for January 6th. I was arrested on a complaint that was written by this one FBI agent, Jeremy Dessor. So then the DOJ, my attorney says to the prosecutor, it wasn't him. That's not his voice. He wasn't shouting that. And she said, I haven't actually watched his video that closely. Let me take a look at his video and I'll get back to you. She calls my attorney back. I don't remember if it was a day later, a couple days later. And she says, well, I've watched the video. And she said, I agree. I don't think that was him shouting, take the shield, take the shield. She said, but I think it's him shouting, take it, take it. And it's like, wait a minute. So you just FBI raided me, threw me in jail based on this allegation that I shouted, take the shield, take the shield. And now you're just saying, oh, yeah, we agree that's not you. We think it's this other one. And I said to my attorney, what the hell are you talking about? And my attorney said, here's what's going on. They're open to offering you a plea deal. They're open to dropping the felony charges if you'll plead guilty to a misdemeanor. But he said they're not going to admit that they made a mistake. Like, they're not going to say, oh, that FBI agent who accused you was wrong. So he said, this is the compromise. You're going to have to give them something in return. This is what he told me. He said, so they're not just going to drop the thing about the shield, because that would be admitting that they were wrong and they made a mistake. So the compromise is they're not going to say that you were shouting, take the shield, take the shield, take the shield away from him. They're going to let you go on just take it, take it. And it became, well, maybe you were just saying take it, because you were documenting what the audience, the crowd was saying, not that you were giving instructions to the crowd. But it was never true. I didn't say any of those things. Nonetheless, they literally would not give me a plea deal unless I said that I did that. So in my plea deal, I had to say that, one, I entered into the restricted area of the Capitol grounds knowing that the grounds were restricted. I did not know that. There was no way to possibly know that. There were no police officers on that side of the building. The barricades were fully open. There were no signs saying you weren't allowed to be there. And there were thousands of people standing around. I walked into a crowd of thousands of people through an open sidewalk. But they selected me out to give me a felony charge for knowingly occupying restricted grounds. That was never true. I did not know that I had entered into a restricted area. Never was true. Number two, they said I witnessed the police doing their best to restrain the crowd at the top of the stairs. That was never true. There were 0 officers on the east side of the building, none that were visible. And 3, they said that I shouted, go, go, go. They added an extra go and said I shouted, go, 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 to encourage people to enter the building. That was never true. I was literally talking to one girl who responded to me. And the fourth and most egregious thing was that they said I witnessed the crowd taking a shield from an officer and that I shouted, take the shield, which later changed to take it, to encourage the crowd to take the shield from an officer. None of these things were true. But without these things, they literally had no case against me. I would actually argue that even with those things, that's not a case. Certainly those things are not felonies. It's not a felony to say take it, which I did not do. But that's what my case was. And so in order to avoid going to trial in Washington, D.C., and avoid being charged with felonies, because they also threatened to add the obstruction of an official proceeding 1512 felony, which people went to prison for years and years. And then the Supreme Court just struck down a few months ago. I pled guilty to a misdemeanor. And in order to be able to plead guilty to a misdemeanor, I had to say that I did those things, which I did not do. They were never, ever, ever true. And I can't even tell you how much this turned my life upside down. First of all, if you Google my name, you're going to find hundreds of articles that don't just say that I said, take it, take it. They went the extra mile and said, I stood outside of the Capitol shouting to encourage the crowd to attack police officers. I didn't even see any officers outside of the building on January 6th. Didn't see a single officer. But if you could read dozens, if not hundreds of stories saying that I encouraged the crowd to attack police officers because of the stupid Shield false confession. Then I got sued by 8 Capitol police officers, sued me under the KKK Act, being represented by the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under law, Soros-funded nonprofit law firm, sued me under the KKK Act, alleging that those 8 officers were injured because of me and the instructions that I was giving to the crowd, and that I went to the Capitol to encourage violence against black and brown police officers on January 6th. It cost me $150,000 and took 2.5 years for me to get through that case. I ultimately ended up getting dismissed from that case. And we discovered that those officers weren't even working on the same side of the building that I was on. One of them was in Maryland. But to say that this has been a nightmare doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what this has been. I am not a religious man. I'm not even a particularly spiritual person. I mean, to a certain degree, I'll put it this way. I don't go through life viewing everything in terms of good and evil and looking at things in a paranormal spirit realm type of way. But I'm not kidding when I say this. I'm actually being 100% serious. I truly believe that there was a portal on the steps of the Capitol on that day. And yes, I'm aware of how crazy that sounds, and I'm aware that it probably even sounds funny to some people. But I literally believe that when I walked up those stairs of the Capitol on that day, I feel like I crossed over, like through a portal into a realm of sheer evil. And I think I have been stuck in that realm for the last 4 years because nothing has made any sense for the last 4 years. Like, to the point where you can't even begin to wrap your head around the insanity that I would walk up to this top of the stairs of the Capitol for 8 minutes and stand there going like this, shooting a video. And I didn't touch anybody. I didn't break anything. I didn't go in the building. I did not encourage violence. I didn't commit any violence. I didn't witness any violence. But I stood out there for 8 minutes filming, and then I left and I uploaded that video. And that I have been placed on terrorism watch lists, banned from everything that you can imagine: payment processors, banks, email services, social media. We lost the walkaway campaign group. I was thrown in jail. I was placed on house arrest. I was put on the TSA Quiet Skies program, meaning I have to fly with air marshals, and that I couldn't get on an airplane without going through hours of secondary screening. That I was reported on constantly for 4 years, saying that I encouraged violence and that I was encouraging assaults on officers. I really, truly believe that something paranormal happened on January 6th, and that there was like a fortress of evil around the Capitol, and that I entered into something paranormal. It's all I can really believe in my heart, because the depths of insanity that I have dealt with, from the FBI to the judges to the civil case to the criminal case to the courts to the media to the Democrats and Congress, the January 6th committee. I was subpoenaed by the January 6th committee and I had to testify because I stood outside of the Capitol for 8 minutes going like this. And they were like, "Oh, well, he was involved in the violence that day. He was involved in what?" It it's almost indescribable. I mean, it's indescribable. But here, let me look at your comments because I've been talking for a long time. Well, you may not believe in the spiritual, but it does exist. God exists, and that means Satan exists. Maybe it's time to start believing, says Linda. Yeah, Linda, I don't think you're wrong necessarily about that. Christine says, Brandon, your walkaway is what they tried to stop. Never give up. Well, I haven't given up yet, so I don't think I'm going to be giving up. EM says you are right about the portal spiritually. There is a portal of evil hell. It includes witchcraft, and there's a portal of heaven. Flying Grandpa says this is what the experience with communism looks like. Ann Williams says, you know what 666 is. Communism at its core, Brandon, says Tom. I mean, it's truly like epically evil stuff. I mean, it's been absolutely bananas what we have endured. But here we are, all this time later. I've received a presidential pardon. Thank God it's a new dawn. It's a new day. We're starting again. And I truly didn't know. People kept for the last, since November, people have been saying, you're going to get pardoned. You're going to get pardoned. Are you excited about your pardon? And I was like, well, let's slow our roll because I don't know for sure. Let's wait and see. Wait, what did I do? Oh, I have comments on the screen. Oh, cool. I didn't even know I could do. Sorry, I didn't even know I could do this. I'm going to put your comments on the screen. So, I didn't know for sure if I was going to be pardoned or not because we kept hearing stories about how it was going to be, they were going to look at each case by case. And then I kept thinking, well, am I going to be classified as a violent defendant because I allegedly said, take it while somebody was taking a shield from an officer? I didn't know. But it was really cool that, hit the like button. Everyone hit the like button. Please share. If you're on X, please repost. If you are on Facebook, please hit the share button. Everybody smash the likes and hearts and subscribe to me if you're not currently subscribing to me. Thank you. Crimson says, congratulations on the pardon. Yeah, I didn't know for sure if it was going to happen, but it did happen. It was amazing. And I'm so glad that President Trump pardoned everybody on day one, with the exception of just a few people. And I believe that eventually he's going to pardon everyone. There are only 14 people so far from J6 who have not yet been pardoned, but I believe that they will be. I just think it could have been such a nightmare if they had pardoned a few people and then we had to wait and see if he was going to pardon the other people. And why did this person get pardoned, but I didn't get pardoned? And it's just, oh my God, no, absolutely not. Forget it. So, yeah, thank God. I think Trump made the right decision. Just pardon everyone day one. Now it's behind us. We can move forward. We can, everyone's cases are done. No one has to go through this anymore. It's incredible. Now it's not over. Now begins the process of rectification and restitution and, making things right, because people need to be compensated for the life savings that they lost, for the financial legal fees that they lost, for the business that we've lost, our careers that have been destroyed, families that, it's terrible. So now begins the process of trying to make whole and make right. I think lives that have really been destroyed for the last 4 years. Joshua Bullock says, you are a warrior, Brandon. Sorry, Joshua, I'm trying to put your... Joshua, I don't know why I can't add your comment to the screen. Sorry. I've been waiting to hear your story. Don't ever stop. I hope a lot of people get book deals. You need retribution and what you went through. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I intend to sit down, write out my story. I'm also going to produce my own docu-series about January 6th. Well, about everything, about Walkaway, about the movement, the success of the movement, how it grew, how it began. The middle parts of it will be about January 6th. And then the end of it is going to be about walk away and our triumphant return. Now that we are done with the 4 years of hell from me walking through the portal of evil on the Capitol steps on January 6th. Noreen says, love you so much, Brandon. There was definitely evil there for the last 4 years. It tried to take you down, and here you are still standing stronger than ever. So happy you are pardoned. You should never have been put through all of that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Sandra says, praying for God to restore all you've lost, and that you'll gain so much more from it. Peace in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that so much. Listen, guys, if you've not yet joined the new Walkaway campaign group on Facebook, I need all of you now to go to Facebook, type in hashtag Walkaway campaign. When the group comes up, join it. And then I need you guys to start sharing your testimonials, whether you're a walk away or a walk with. It is time to get our group rocking and rolling once again. I need all of you. And you guys promised me for years, oh, Brandon, as soon as you're back, we're ready to go, we're here, well, now's the time. I need you guys to help me get things back on track and get our movement sizzling and crackling one more time. That means I need you to join the group, and I need you guys to share your posts. Either post a video, a walk away or a walk with video, or post a written testimonial. And if you post a written testimonial, add a picture. Add a picture of yourself or your family or something to your testimonial. Because we found that when you do a written testimonial with a picture attached, they get so much more engagement than when they don't have a picture. So run, don't walk, to Facebook and join hashtag Walkaway campaign, our new group, and upload either a video or a written testimonial with a picture. Everybody, don't delay. I need your help, you guys. Otherwise, I'm going to go just retire on a beach somewhere, and believe me, I'm happy to do it. But if you don't want me to retire on a beach and you do want me to continue doing the work we do with Walkaway, I need you guys to help. And I need you to help by adding a testimonial and making a contribution to the movement, which you can do at walkawayfoundation.org. Make a donation, please. God knows we need your help. So yeah, it's been insane, but thank you guys for standing with me through all of this. Thank you, God. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And I'm just so grateful that this is a new time and we have a fresh start in America and an amazing 4 years ahead of us. And that I am now a free man, a pardoned man, a full, complete and unconditional pardon. January 6th is over for me, mostly. I mean, there's still a lot of recovery to do, but in terms of the weaponization, over. So thank you, everybody. Now I want to move forward. Now I want to rebuild my movement, rebuild Walkaway, and I want everyone's help in doing it. I don't need everyone to feel sorry for me. I don't need people to feel bad. I don't need you to write to me and tell me how sorry you are. If you truly feel sorry and you truly feel sympathetic, the best way for you to express it is by joining the Facebook group and sharing your testimonial, and go on X and share your testimonial on X and use our hashtag Walkaway. And that's how you can support if you really want to support, because I love that you guys, I love that you feel for me. I love that you're touched by what I've gone through. But now the best, I think that the best revenge is success. And let's just be really successful from this point going forward, just like we were before. Let's rebuild everything bigger, better, stronger than ever before. So that's what you guys can do. I'm going to get a little more work done, and then I'm going to go to the gym, because another way to be successful is to not be obese. And I'm pushing it right now, frankly. And I don't want to be obese. So I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get on the treadmill. I'm going to lift some weights, and I'm going to get some work done. I love you guys. I'm back. I'm going to continue to keep in touch with you through lives, and a lot of exciting stuff this year. We're going to be going into New Jersey. We're going to be going into Virginia, and we're going to be launching 2 new shows, the Brandon Straka Show and another show which has yet to be named. But we're going to have some awesome stuff coming your way, and we're going to rebuild the Walkaway testimonial campaign with your help. Get in there now, share your testimonials, and it's going to be a great year. And thank God Biden is out of office. Thank God all of this is behind us. And thank you for your support and sticking with me. I love you, Patriots. And we'll talk really soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.